Well done. Again. Let's go side. Let's go side. Come on. 3, 2, go. Three, two, one, go! Three, two, one, go! Last. Other people. The right side first. Right side. Let's go. Right side. Come on. Let's go. Stop. We're starting. Half one. The person that should give me that partner and walk out. Pay attention, let's go.
Let's be honest, I know my heart if I be honest. She in control when she feel on it. The petrol that got me down. You like this high life thing, my love. I love being your love. I'm tryna show you up, you are. She really the A-list girl. She really my favorite girl. I'm loving the way you twirl. You twirl, the way that she is. She really my favorite girl. I'm here to you twirl. Fresh up and it on me. She can't do it slowly. Girl, that you want, would you put it for me? Take a picture and then just sleep. I had a feeling one of these days. You can take me where you say. In the Maybach, she my favorite girl.
All right. Thank you for being here. Sincere apologies that you were just seeing my face. Got to do one thing. But here we are. I hope you can hear me. All right. Can I hear you? All right. Yeah, I can hear you there. Good morning to you once again, wherever you are. And just as I said, if whatever time of the day it is, good day to you. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the program Spring Delight from Western Spring Television, your award-winning television station. Any day, anytime. Super excited to be here. How are we doing? How's the weekend panning out? You got over and best? All right. I know I got one or two, but then it's always a pleasure to be here on this show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining us for the very first time, hey, quite a whole lot we will be doing on the show, but basically we have kick-started earlier showing you from the aerobics and from the gym where we need to do the right things by keeping fit. It's needed. It's necessary. So keeping fit does quite a whole lot for us and with us. So welcome to the show for today. Tunde Idowu is my name at Irresistible TD on X. And this is what we do every Saturday from this hour till much later in the morning. I'd like to say sincere appreciation to the entire team for relentlessly working hard to make sure that you get to hear us and you get to see us on this program any day and every time. Welcome once again. Let's get down to the business of the morning. If you have celebrated your birthday this week, you have celebrated in the course of this week, or today's your birthday, I would like to say congratulations to you. Most especially, I'd like to say congratulations to a dear friend, brother, and colleague, Charles Adeyemi. Today's your birthday. We say congratulations to you. Many wonderful years ahead for you. And not forgetting, I won't forget, another dear and amazing sister here, Suliyat Kende Abolaji, Suliyat Taiwo. We call you Susu, Yellow Diarrhea. You see her on a couple of programs on this station. It was your birthday. I would say congratulations to you, sis. Many more Susuful years. I hope there's anything like that. Susuful years ahead for you. And after birthday, you know what we are all anticipating. After birthday, the senior birthday. We can't wait. Bless years ahead for you. All right, let's celebrate with those who are celebrating today and who had actually celebrated in the course of the week. When we return, we will have also Today in History and My Work, My Pride. Our guest is around the corner. We'll be talking to him. It's a congratulatory program for him. It's also a point where we want to get to know what his vision is and will be for where he has just attained that position. All right, sit back, relax. Let's enjoy the ride together on Spring Delight from Western Spring Television. I'll be right back. Welcome back. And that's to everyone who celebrates his or her birthday on a day such as this, or you probably had done it in the course of a week. It's about Solid Star. Yeah, I like that young man, Solid Star, Brian Okere, quite a whole lot of people. Let me tell you, I think I saw that video there as well. Congratulations to all of you, and we wish you the very best of years and years and years on this journey called life. Quite a whole lot is still going to be brought to your viewing pleasure on the show for today. Spring Delight from Western Spring Television. And at this juncture, is this thing we sat back here to discuss that life is just it's like a process. It moves from one spot to the other. Yesterday night, I probably had met you as a single young man, in which we all probably went for your bachelor's eve. And today, Saturday morning, you're heading to the altar to become Mr. or Mrs. Life is just a funny process that it comes. Why am I saying this? You won't understand until I probably open up totally for you. The last time I had the opportunity of sitting with my guest on the show for today, he's not just he was a doctor. He is still a doctor, but then the level at which he was then, the level at which he is now, is commendable. And we'd like to first of all use this opportunity on behalf of Chairman Dr. Femi Adefila to congratulate the CMD, the Chief Medical Director of Uniosun Teaching Hospital, no other person but Dr. Babatunde Adiola Emmanuel, on this position of yours. Congratulations and good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for having me at springtime this morning.
Honestly, I don't know how it is, because I think the last time we sat together, you were on Uniosun Medical Half Hour on Rave 91.7 FM, our sister station, where we of course, every Thursday that program comes up. We discuss quite a whole lot. And months later, you're sitting also with me, which it is an honor. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
As the CMD Uniosun Teaching Hospital. How does this feel?
First and foremost, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate God Almighty for this opportunity that He has given to me to attain this height as the CMD of Uniosun Teaching Hospital. I will not but also appreciate His Excellency, the Asiwaju of Edeland, Senator Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke, and the cabinet.
Yes.
Also appreciating our grandfather, Dr. Deji Adeleke, among other people, my chairman, the chairman of the board, Right Honorable Niyo Wolade, and the entire management of Uniosun Teaching Hospital, with all members of staff, for making it an opportunity to attend this height as the CMD of Uniosun Teaching Hospital. Just to answer that question, I want to say that I see it as a divine intervention. I see it as ordinance of God. I see it as a fulfillment of God's mandate. Because among many, if God singles you out to attain that kind of height, you should see it as a real privilege.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't take such an opportunity for granted, because all eyes, all hopes are on you to ensure that you bring to light a transformation that is going to drive that system to a greater height. So I see it as a real opportunity, and I want to thank God for it.
You've taken the bull by the horn at this, by telling us, of course, it's a height that, it calls for quite a whole lot.
Yes.
And looking at what it looks like at this moment in time, the vision, of course, that you have to drive that great hospital to that pedestal that it should be. You want it to be.
Yes.
That this administration of His Excellency wants it to be. Can you share with us what that vision looks like?
Thank you very much. I want to say that the Excellency has got a robust plan on Earth platform for the citizenry of the state.
Right.
Can see a lot that is happening on the issue of constructions of roads and all the like.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that I held the transformation agenda of His Excellency on Earth platform. And I could see that he has a robust plan for the populace. And we have key into this agenda.
Yeah.
And this agenda speaks to ensuring that the hospital and people of Osun State get the best of care at all times. Because the only teaching hospital that we have in Osun as of today is Uni Osun Teaching Hospital. We have primary, secondary, healthcare sector. But the only tertiary teaching hospital that we have is Uni Osun Teaching Hospital.
Amazing.
And we have a vision of making it a tertiary institution of note, where you produce doctors and then put people in place in such a way that the hospital is going to address the core aspect of humanity and train the best of hands as doctors all over the world. As I want to say that teaching hospital is meant for three main assignments.
Okay.
One is clinical services, is for training and also for our research. Having gone through and see a lot of challenge in the health sector, I have come down with 5-pillar agenda. And this pillar agenda is to address all these problems. The first pillar is to address the issue of human resources. In Uni Osun, as of today, some people are demoralized, some people are not happy doing what they are doing in view of what they have passed through in the past. So one of the things is want to make sure that we build their hope. We want to assure them that things is going to get better. We need to collaborate together. We need to work together to ensure that this hospital gets to a greater height. And you put the round peg in the round hole on human resources. And when we are talking about human resources, we are talking about experts who are trained in different fields. I want to say we have doctors, we have specialists, that you cannot find in primary or secondary healthcare sector. So, and this in itself has gone into drive us to ensure that we deliver best. So the second is quality service delivery. We want to reduce complaints and increase on the satisfaction of our people. We want people to be satisfied with our services. We want people to look back and say, yes, indeed, I'm in a teaching hospital setting. So in terms of quality service delivery, we want to make sure that the hospital stands what is observed, as a formulation. We are thinking about involved, technological innovation. EMR, having, a lot of technologies into system. And, everything is no more manual. People are thinking of bringing science into medicine. So we are thinking of moving from the point of manual to the point of technology and in assisting humanity. We want to build our IGR, there is no amount of money government can give us that can satisfy what we have in mind, the robust agenda that we have for this teaching hospital. So we want to ensure that we build, on our IGR by expanding our services. There are some services that we are rendering at the moment that we need to expand. For instance, there is no ICU of note in Osun. If we, as a teaching hospital with almost 5 specialists and anesthesiologists, we can expand the service there. It will increase our services. Our dialysis center can be expanded. We can begin to do eye surgeries with, especially that we have neurosurgical procedures and things like cardiothoracic procedures. This is what we are meant to do, and we need equipment to drive this.
All right.
Yes,
I know there's quite a whole lot.
It's a lot.
We will still talk about it because we really want to shed greater light to so many things and but time. But first of all, I will take our viewers back to that period where you were sworn in.
Okay.
You got the staff of office and quite a whole lot. Looking at the electoral process, we'll come back to talk about the electoral process.
Okay.
Who, how many people contested, vied for that position, and we'll look at what it looked like during the last administration and the present administration as the hospital fared well. Then better at this point in time. We'll take this short break. We'll take you to that point and let's see what it looked like for Dr. Afolabi Babatunde Adeola Emmanuel on this, and we'll be back. Please stay with us.
I want to thank all union leaders, the Wrestling Council, Hendicam, my chairman, ARD, and all union that has made this hospital what it is today. I want to share with you some of the vision I have for the future as we embark on this new chapter that we envision. I plan to have an enhanced patient care through initiative practices. We want to have enhanced collaboration in all our departments. A continued investment in staff development and welfare. Improve community engagement and outreaches. This is my pledge. My pledge is to uphold our hospital mission and values and foster a culture of transparency and accountability. Prioritized evidence-based medicine and research, and to support interdisciplinary collaboration. I want to believe that with this hospital will go on the height. And to do this, we have put together an action plan that is leveraged on what I term transformation agenda pillars. Number one, patient care, centered care, enhanced patient experience, safety and satisfaction. A clinical excellence, foster a culture of continuous quality improvement and innovation. Medical education, strengthen our teaching and our training programs. Research and innovation, promote cutting-edge research and collaborations. Operational efficiencies, streamline processes.
Welcome back. And that was part of the acceptance speech by the Chief Medical Director, Union Osun Teaching Hospital, Dr. Afolabi Adeola Babatunde Emmanuel. Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Javi.
Let's first of all go back to the electoral process that brought you in. How many people contested? Vied. I don't know why I keep saying, because you guys are not politicians now.
We are not politicians.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you that, you see, it is ever the first time the process will take this dimension.
Oh.
In the previous administrations, is by appointment. The executive, by the edict of the hospital, the executive governor has the prerogative power to appoint the CMD of the hospital. Okay. Whether within or even outside, he has the power. He is the one that holds the power. So, and he has appointed the board chairman who represent the governor as a board of governor, Right Honorable Niyi Owolade. Yeah. But in order to allow a very robust and fair play, this process took a different dimension. About 9 of us contested this election. Really? And in the process, we were interviewed, we submitted applications. Okay. And then we were subject to interview and also computer testing. So, and at the end of that, it was, all of us did well, but the 3 names were picked. That was sent to His Excellency, out of which one was picked. So I want to say that I am just like David, the young one that God has favored, because those other they are also senior colleagues. They also did beautifully well. But when God has designed something, there is a way God allowed things to happen. So
Absolutely.
it actually passed through a process, and that process was concluded. And the Excellency appoints me as the CMD. I see it as the favor of God. And ever since I came, I have decided that no one is a winner and no one is a loser.
Absolutely.
So I have actually gone as far as to liaise and ask for collaboration of every other person that we have to, because that system is bigger than individual.
Absolutely.
So we need to borrow from their wide knowledge of experience so that we can come. I officially wrote a letter, of collaboration to them that I need the experience. And I want to tell you, they have been bringing ideas, fantastic ideas. So I want to seize the opportunity to appreciate them again for bringing ideas, not abandoning that. No, they have a spirit of sportsmanship.
That's
a very wonderful one, which I sincerely appreciate.
I'm
that shows the kind of spirit and the mindset that they have. I celebrate them.
All right. I know you said you guys were 9.
We were 9.
Nine.
Yes, we were 9.
But basically, let me just go back to someone like Professor Olaitan.
Yes.
Amazing man. With all due respect, I've had the opportunity to sit down with him just like this, both here and our sister station, Rave 91.7 FM. Let's look at that administration and with what you intend to do. Do you feel you would want to continue with some of what he had done, or no, you're going to continue? Just start with yours.
Oh, well, I want to say that, I said I am privileged. Let me tell you why I say so.
Oh.
I have passed through all stages in Uni Osun Teaching Hospital. I started as an house officer in Uni Osun. I rose to the level of being a casualty officer.
Oh.
I was a registrar, a senior registrar. I rose to be an HOD, to be a CMAC. And I was the last CMAC for the last teaching hospital and the first CMAC for Uni Osun Teaching Hospital. I served together with Professor Peter Babatunde Olaitan.
Before you go, because this
Chairman Medical Advisory Committee, who happens to be the Deputy CMD. I was the Deputy CMD of Professor Peter Babatunde Olaitan. And most of his agenda, when he was there, we did together. So it's the first time that the immediate deputy will become the CMD. It's ever the first time that is happening in Uni Osun Teaching Hospital.
Wow.
So I cannot but celebrate Professor Peter Babatunde Olaitan. We work together. He is a brother. I see him as a giant man, and I see him that all that we did, we have some of these templates together. So I quite understand from where we are coming from. And I will take it from there and build on a pedestal that will bring a lot of transformation agenda into the system. So I celebrate him.
And from here as well, we like to say congratulations to Professor Olaitan Babatunde, because yes, an amazing man to have met and start back to speak with. I'm honored to do this as well with another CMD at this moment in time. But now, I know there's a little bit of wahala. The wahala is about our dear health, the health sector, the Joint Health Sector Union, JOHESU.
Yes.
Let's look at them for now. Have they called off their strike?
Well,
what's on ground at this point? Will you please let the cat out of the bag?
Yes, let me let the cat. I want to say that we enjoyed the partnership of Union in Uni Osun Teaching Hospital. And it's just quite unfortunate that towards the tail end of Professor Peter Olaitan, they had to go on strike. And that strike is from the national. It was not declared at the local. And I want to say that on the day of my resumption, I want to sincerely thank JOHESU in Council of Uni Osun Teaching Hospital. They came in their uniform to receive me. As I was entering through the gates, They were there waiting in their uniform,
Oh,
which shows acceptability.
absolutely.
And they ushered me from the gate right through the staircase to Professor Peter Olaotensofe. So I want to believe that, on that fateful day, the strike has been called off. It has been called off, and we'll be working together. In fact, what amazed me was that on the day that is because there is a sanction going to be placed on them for entry, and they felt the system is bigger than them, and they were having the same and less that is to meet where they are waiting. And they were, wow, how will you? I said, no, I have to come out of you, part of you. It's all about the system. And the system must run.
Absolutely.
So I want to seize the opportunity to sincerely appreciate the leadership of GSO. Anything within the sector, the institution, things within, and they have been giving their support. And I believe that together, you have been the team wins the race.
Absolutely.
So we're going together. Thank you.
All right, and we say thank you to Juheso as well. But then let's move a bit away from, but of course, I'm going to include UniOsun here. The brain drain system in Nigeria today is alarming. And not just alarming, it's scary. Because when you have best hands moving away from where we need them as well, how have you been able, you're new though, but you've been there.
Yes, I've been there.
How have you been able to really manage this brain drain at UniOsun Teaching Hospital?
Yes, thank you very much. Well, I want to say that there are two dimensions to brain drain. There is this concept of vertical brain drain and horizontal brain drain. The vertical brain drain has to do with somebody that travels from here to abroad. You go to UK, you go to that. We have a lot of that. The second is horizontal, moving from here to teaching hospital that is paying better than our teaching hospital. I want to say that His Excellency has done so well. That Senator Ademola Adeleke has done so well by paying some of the emoluments of these workers. And that makes us have a comparison between us and other sister teaching hospitals. So at that level, it blocks the horizontal transfer. Wow. That was the initial problem that we are facing. Now, the vertical brain drain, we can't do nothing about it. Because a doctor that is working in US, for instance, collecting 10 million naira per month, the highest doctor in the teaching hospital cannot collect 1/10 of that. Okay? And if you get an opportunity to travel, definitely you want to go there. So, but what we do, Excellency has also assisted us, that we should do replacement. Now, once somebody drop letter of resignation and his name is out of the payroll, we have the opportunity of bringing back somebody to replace that individual, particularly as a doctor or as a nurse. Okay. So, and again, we have defended our budget this year. We believe that our government will assist us in ensuring that we have better hands, and then we have additional staff that is going to be of assistance to our services in that teaching hospital. So, both horizontal and vertical government as but they still need to do more. Thank you very much.
I know you're a busy man, and I would like to say thank you for this honor. I remember while we started talking, you said even as at this early morning, you had done 2 surgeries, and I look at the time like, really? So I wouldn't want to hold you down too much. Okay. Now, your message to Osun people, most especially, as much as we're being watched virtually around the world, to us here, and for us here in Osun State, what do we have, what can we put at the back of our mind concerning UniOsun Teaching Hospital, and most especially public health institution right here in Osun State? And we still rely, and we still believe in them.
Okay. I want to thank you again because we are bringing, it's a new dawn. And we are bringing in this transformation agenda that I talked about. And I want to believe that we want complaints to be less and more people to be satisfied. So we are looking at a teaching hospital that is going to address the head needs of people. We are looking at a hospital that will be friendly. In fact, I've changed the narration of UniOsun. Every staff of teaching hospital now see UniOsun as my hospital. Because the concept of this is UniOsun is different. It's my hospital. if you have a child, you want your child to eat, you want your child to go to school, the same thing we want to do with that teaching hospital. So I want to seize this opportunity to tell everyone all over the world that Union Osho Teaching Hospital has been transformed in terms of a culture of unity, culture of delivering the best of services at all times. You are sure of getting the best of treatment at all times. And I can assure you, my staffs are ready and they will be willing to give you the best of care at all times. So please feel free to come to Union Osho Teaching Hospital. Forget about the old time event, the old time complaints, but see a new time, a new arena. And the government has promised to also support us because we need a lot of things in that hospital. Most of our equipments are obsolete. And then government will come to our aid to ensure that all those things come to, because if you have specialists without equipment, if you have specialists without the best issues, and we have declared state of emergency in 4 areas. There are the first one is in pharmacy, that we want to have zero tolerance to non-availability of drugs. We want to declare state of emergency on radiology, that you can't come to the hospital and say you can't do radiological services. We want to do it on consumables. We want to ensure that consumables are readily available in the hospital, and our laboratory services is optimal. These 4 areas, they are key to quality service delivery. And we are sure that if government comes to our aid, give us subventions, give us grants, we are assured that these areas will be properly funded with a committee system. We will put committee in place that will revolve. It will be a revolving scheme. For instance, if I put 5 million or 50 million naira in pharmacy, we revolve it. We have a benchmark of 100 million. And anything outside that 100 million can be revolved back into the system. So that money will make available drug at all times. The same thing in the laboratory, the same thing in consumable, the same thing in radiology. And at the end of the day, you find a very swift and a beautiful system that we can run with. Thank you.
I can't but get excited. As much as I don't want to fall ill. So I think there's always a need to come do certain checkups at all times. And
And again, let me put this across, that we want to have a friendly hospital. You don't have to be sick to come to the hospital. Coming to the hospital for checkup, coming to the hospital because it's like your body is like you have a car. Most of us will prefer to service our car rather than service the body. Okay, the vehicle has run 100 kilometers, 100 miles away. You want to service. Let's service our bodies too. So we're going to have West People's Clinic. We have people who are well. We go and get themselves tested. This is part of our agenda.
Wow. Now I think I can laugh properly now. Thank you so much for taking time out with us this morning, and we wish you the very best. And trust us here. We always say it and show it to the world. It's happening at Union Osho Teaching Hospital.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. It's an honor. I have been speaking with the Chief Medical Director at Union Osho Teaching Hospital, Dr. Afolabi Babatunde Adiola Emmanuel. And once again, on behalf of our chairman, I would like to congratulate him, wishing him and his team the very best.
Evelyn Ohiole, King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
You go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attached to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? You know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday? They are saying it favors you, favor. At the vex so.
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've had.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi nìbàdàn so yá dresser lọ́rẹ́ mi yẹn
Mosi Adoke Alabu was a prominent figure in politics of Southern region. Before Nigeria independence, he was key for national council Nigeria at Cameroon, a pickle pivot held.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi dúró fún mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀gbọ́n tó dúró fún mi lọ́jọ́ yẹn níbi tí mo ti lọ kọ́ṣẹ́ yẹn so àtìgbà yẹn láì ṣe yẹn gan. Ìgbà tí mo kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí kí n tó mẹ́rin ni mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ so ìgbà tí mo marry tán ọkọ mi lóhùn ò gbà kí n ṣiṣẹ́ kéèkì ó ní iṣẹ́ kéèkì báwo open shop fún mi mo ń ta pampers company gan ló wá máa ń kọjá fún mi but at the end of the day iṣẹ́ yẹn gan ló wù mí so mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí kí n máa ṣe chinchin ìgbà tọ́kọ mi ò gbà mo máa shop tó gbà fún mi yẹn náà mo máa ń ta chinchin mo máa ń ṣe donut mo máa ń ṣe pop-up ọkọ mi ò tẹ̀ ní yà sọ́nà bí ó máa bínú ìní kan pé òun irú nǹkan wo ni mo fẹ́ máa tà bọ̀ ìgbà tó rí pé mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yẹn pé ó ti àwọn èèyàn ń béèrè oríṣiríṣi nǹkan lọ́wọ́ mi tó bá padà wá rí pé mo ti tà nǹkan tí mo ṣe yẹn tán wá rò pé tó jẹ́ kí n help ẹ pẹ̀lú business tó lè fẹ́ ṣe yìí so ilé náà dẹ̀ ní gbogbo yẹn mo máa ń bake nílé gbogbo àti kò gbà kí n ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn mo máa ń bake tábà lálejò kéèkì mo máa fi ṣe wọ́n lálejò pẹ̀lú drinks mo máa ń bake mo máa ń sọ ilé ẹ̀gbọ́n ọkọ tó wà ní Canada ní London America ìyẹn ló ní pé kéèkì ìyàwó ẹ̀ máa ń fine gan ó jẹ́ kó máa ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn náà ó ní mi ìwò pé iṣẹ́ yẹn mi kó máa ṣe jẹ́ yẹn wà pé sílé ni mo ti máa ń gba wed cake mo ti máa ń gba birthday cake inú ilé ni mo ti máa ń ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà yẹn ọkọ mi tó wá help mi ó tó gba big shop fún mi kí n máa ṣe yẹn ní. iṣẹ́ yìí iṣẹ́ gbìn ó sì ṣe yẹn ni mo ti bá pàdé àyàn láti tún kéèkì mi gan wọ́n máa ń gbé ọ travel ẹlòmíà sọ pé kéèkì tó wà ní US pé kéèkì tó máa ń rọ̀ ni fáwọn láì kéèkì mi gan wọ́n máa ń gbé kéèkì mi travel so iṣẹ́ yìí mo láìkẹ̀ gan so àwọn ọmọ tí mo ti train nípasẹ̀ táwọn náà ti wà òkè tán ti dá dúró wọ́n pọ̀ gan cake baking òun ni iṣẹ́ mi iṣẹ́ mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni it's my work.
Obviously, this is my own work, and seriously, it is my pride. I love what I do any day, anytime. Thank you, Mrs. Farmi Nola. I think I Eniola Farinola, something like that. I got that. And thank you for the snacks. I enjoy the snacks. It's still been in my stuff for over 3 weeks now. So there's an issue there. All right, what you do and you love what you do and bringing joy, your work, that is to be right. That's why we go out there every time to look at you and bring it to the notice for people to see that, look, hey, even if you're a bricklayer, you're a mechanic, whatever you do, as long as you're doing it and it's positive, it's not something illegal, it should be your pride, no doubt about it. All right, welcome back to the other segment of the show. My second guest is well seated, and luckily for me, probably one of she's the CMD of her outfit, but not the medical, not chief medical. She's the chief money director of our outfit. It's a delight. It's a pleasure to welcome with me Yetunde Are. Good morning to you, Yetunde.
Good morning.
And do you rest at all?
I do.
You do. I don't. But it's fine. It's fine. Good to have you once again. Yetunde Are is sorry, I was saying Yetunde Are. Awe. It's my dear friend and sister Yetunde Are. Bola Are's daughter. Okay, yeah, but then Yetunde Are, she's a founder of Payless Shop More Nigeria. She combines her entrepreneurial drive with her commitment to youth and women's development. But with experience in various groups and communities focused on these causes, Yetunde is dedicated to promoting intentional living faith, love, service, and positive impact. Okay, She is she's a writer or author. She's written 2 books, and many more still coming. I will put this to your faces very shortly. But then let's get to know who Yetunde is and what has driven you. I know it's not a Kurupe that drove you, but what has driven you to the point of you studied accounting? You obtained a BSc in accounting from Covenant University and MSc in banking and finance from Eastern Mediterranean University. And you're writing books. Why are you not in the banking sector? Tell us the story a bit.
Okay. Although I still use my experience as an accountant in my business. But writing, what propelled me into writing? I grew up in Lagos, Agege, to be specific.
You must have eaten quite a whole lot of Agege bread then.
A whole lot. So growing up in that environment,
yes.
I would see young people just wasting away on the streets, losing themselves, and I was always bothered. When I look at young people just loitering around, I feel something deep inside me. I'm like, these are potentials that are being wasted. These are strengths that are underutilized. Energetic, vibrant young men and women that I feel like they could do something, And I thought, what can I do? What can I do? I'm just one person. I'm not in any position of authority, but what can I do? And also because from a very tender age, I converse with a lot of older women. And, I would follow my mom to church and women meetings. And I would hear some of the things that women also talk about, their struggles, their challenges, how they wish they could do more for themselves. And those things, they've always bothered me. So every time I always thought about it, what can I do? What can I do? So I decided 2016, I decided I'm going to start putting my thoughts into writing. And that was how I began writing. 2016.
That's about 8 years ago.
Yes.
Let's go straight to these amazing books you have here. Embracing Your Journey, The Road to Finding Meaning in Life, and Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence. Let me start with Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence first. What's this all about? What's this book all? This particular Breaking the Book of Comfortable Silence, what's it all about?
Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence addresses women more. It's about women discovering themselves beyond marriage. It's about women finding purpose, about women not losing their vibrancy and their intelligence and their passion in marriage. You find out that a lot of women, once they get married, they lose all those good things in them, those good stuffs in them. You don't see it anymore. It's like they're so comfortable and relaxed. And sometimes, they are very burdened with a lot of responsibilities and they don't know how to balance the roles of being a mother, being a daughter to someone, being a sister, being a wife, And because of all these responsibilities, they become very frustrated. When a woman is not fulfilled, she becomes frustrated and, you start to resent your spouse, especially when you see your spouse, getting promotion, your spouse doing the things they want to do, but you as a woman, you don't get to do all those stuffs, You see women now saying, oh, men are this, men are that, men are scums. But, it's because a lot of times women have not come to realize the realization that they also have to step out of their comfort zone, even if you don't have someone cheering you up. Like the Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. Encourage yourself also to step forward and do those things that you really want to do, and impact the world. We want to hear your voice also as a woman. We want to see women doing those good stuffs.
Breaking the Chains of Comfort is more about women. And I've seen it at the back page here. You do more of women advocacy and you tend to, Well, then, were there instances you probably had seen or heard about women's challenges and things that actually brought about this book?
A whole lot. A whole lot. Like I said earlier, from a tender age, I would follow my mom to women meetings. I would converse with older women. For some reason that I don't know, I have a lot of friends that are older women, and I would hear their challenges. And even young married women,
yes,
I would also observe generally people that I know, how they've been so great at what they do before they got married. And then once they get married, you just see you just see that you don't hear anything about them any longer. In this book, I actually narrated a lot of stories,
Wow.
Yes, I narrated a lot of stories, gave examples of women and also solutions out of this crisis and silence.
One of the major things of course, as a man as well, communication. Does this book speak to women how communication should look like?
Yes. There's a page that addresses communication.
Okay.
Yes, in the book.
Okay.
A lot of times as young individuals before we get married,
yes,
we don't talk about a lot of things. We are so engulfed with the fact that I want to be with this person. Those hormones and all those butterflies in your belly, and you just want to be with that person, lovey-dovey and all that. But, we don't talk about some of the challenges that we might face. We don't talk about navigating motherhood with your spouse. You don't talk about, okay, how do we balance responsibilities when we get married? So communication before, during, after marriage is really vital. There are a lot of areas that we also need to consider when we are talking about communication between spouses. Active listening. Partners, we need to listen to each other carefully to understand and not just to speak. So active listening plays a deep role. You saying, oh, I feel we should do this, rather than you said this, you. I personalizing our conversations with our partner, respectful communication between partners. So all these are very, very important.
Let's talk about embracing your journey, the road to finding meaning in life. The road to finding meaning in life. That's deep. What is this book? What does it tell us? What's it all about?
Embracing your journey. Even from the title of the book,
yeah,
you can tell. Embracing your journey, the road to finding meaning to life. It simply tells you that life is a journey. We are all heading towards an unknown destination.
Yes.
And so we're all taking daily steps towards that destination that we do not know. But what do we do along this path? What do we do along this road? How do we navigate some of the challenges that we face? How do we find meaning in our life experiences? What do we do when it feels like we do not understand life anymore? So finding meaning in your experiences and being present at every stage of your life, the challenges, the joys, the victories. Be present. Be present. Your body, your mind, your soul must be connected, So basically that's what embracing your journey is all about.
And of course, this seems to be encompassing. Everybody has a journey you have to pass through in life. And for this, embracing your journey, how did the inspiration, and basically, let me just say, how does this inspiration, you pick it from what you see around, from what you watch? How do you put together all this?
So I would also say it's the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, because sometimes, like the title, Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence, I was just in my office, I was just relaxing in my office, and that title just came, Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence, and I wrote it down. And I started writing. Embracing your journey is a little bit personal, because I looked at the journey of my life. I wrote a little bit about myself also in the book. I looked at the journey of my life, and I just found it very fascinating. I spoke about some of the challenges I also faced and the ones I'm still facing, and I've undo some of those challenges. And those things, my personal journey also motivated me into writing the book Embracing Your Journey.
I know, though our esteemed viewers would love to pick up this. If they're interested, how do they get either of this?
It's very easy. You could get the book at Payless Shop Mall Supermarket, Dada Estate, Oshogbo, if you reside anywhere around Oshogbo.
Okay.
And you can also get it on Seller. Just go to Google, type the name of the book, Embracing Your Journey or Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence by Yetunde Awe. You will see it on Seller, you see it on Amazon, and just click the link and it will take you through. You pay with your card, then delivery and all that, and you get it. It's quite easy.
Your message to us all, you are a step ahead when it comes to putting something like this, and with your vast experience in life, what's that message, especially to married couples, where communication is a problem? How can they resolve?
To married couples, I would say take time to understand your partner. Take time. You need to be intentional. When it comes to marriage, intentionality is very, very important. Take time to understand your partner. Don't assume, because things that you could find, this is not really important, it might be important to the other person. So take time to understand the person and love the person the same way the person wants to be loved. Don't try to love someone the way you understand or the way you want to be loved. Or don't try to communicate with someone the way you feel you should be communicated. Try to understand your partner. How does this person want me to communicate to him or her? And that helps a lot. Intentionality. Be intentional.
I think I'm going to really take that intentionality aspect about it. Now, I know usually it's on social media, and most of us, if not all, would love to communicate with you via your social handles. Please, can you reel that out for us, please?
Okay, so on Instagram, you will find me, Yetunde Adewuja _Awe. Adewuja. It's spelled Adeuja. Adeuja. Yetunde Adewuja _Awe. And on Facebook, you'll find me on Yetunde Adewuja. Same thing with TikTok.
All right. And these are your first work, or you first?
Yes.
Of course, we will expect more, I guess.
Definitely.
That's assuring. All right. It's a pleasure, and I'd like to say well done. Congratulations to these ones, and many more to come. You can be rest assured, just like I'll tell people when I see you doing positive things like this, you can always be rest assured that us here at Western Spring Television, Rave 91.7 FM, will always be there to support your good work.
Thank you.
Yetunde Awe is someone who is driven by passion to inspire spiritually grounded, value-oriented young individuals and empower women to realize the fulfillment that comes from harnessing their God-given potentials. And writings reflect this purpose, igniting hope and motivation in our readers. So please admonish us. Let's just try to go get any of those books, Embracing Your Journey, The Road to Finding Meaning in Life, and Breaking the Chains of Comfortable Silence. On Amazon, you can definitely do that. And also at Payless Shop Mall, Nigeria, Dada Estate right here in Oshogbo. If you are in Oshogbo, thanking you indeed yesterday. Just keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take a short break at this point in time. When I return, we'll talk about quite a whole lot of other things before I say BYE. Here we go.
Oranges are round colored citrus fruits that grow east. They are now, but today, these nutrient houses are grown in warm climates around the world. There are many varieties of oranges. Some are sweet and sour. Common types include Mandarin, Capra, Dodges, Valena, Jaffa, F, more than 100% recommends vitamin C, small and endless fruits, or to do to get kidneys, P&E. Nutrient oranges contain high orange fats, iron, fat, also 3 grams of fiber, 12 grams sugar, gram of protein, 40 grams of vitamin A, 70 milligrams of vitamin C, 6% of your daily recommended amount of calcium, 237 milligrams of potassium, 15.4 grams of carbohydrates. The vitamin C in oranges helps your body in lots of ways. Protects yourself from damage, helps your body make collagen, a protein that heals wounds and gives you smoother skin. Makes it easier to absorb iron to fight and boosts your immune system, your body's defense against germs. Slows the advance of age-related macular degeneration, AMD, a leading cause of vision loss. Helps fight cancer, causing free radicals. When you're feeling anxious, vitamin C can also lower your levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, and your blood pressure. Benefit. Some food tell your immune system it's under attack. This causes inflammation. When inflammation turns into a long-term problem, it can trigger diabetes, heart diseases, arthritis, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Oranges have the opposite effect. Fiber. The 3 grams of fiber in a medium orange help keep your bowels healthy, your cholesterol and risk of heart disease low, and ulcers at bay. Fiber also slows the way your body absorbs sugar, a big bonus if you have diabetes. Calcium. Oranges are high in this important nutrient, which keeps your bones, organs, and muscles strong. Folate for moms and babies. Oranges are a great way to get a big dose of folate naturally. Your body uses it to divide cells and make DNA because it helps prevent birth defect. It's an especially important B vitamin for pregnant women. Good sugar. The 12 grams of sugar in an orange are all natural. That's different from the kind of sugar you'd get in a candy bar, plus all the fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that come with an orange make it a much better choice for your body. Choose raw oranges, which have less sugar than the dry kind. Potassium nutrients lowers blood pressure, and oranges have a bunch of it. Oranges more and sugar in it. For nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, headache, and insomnia. Oranges are high in acid, and that can make symptoms of GERD worse. If you're taking beta blockers, too many oranges could increase your potassium intake and lead to kidney damage. If your body stores iron than it needs, a condition called hemochromatosis, high doses of vitamin C can add more iron and damage your tissues. Vitamin C may also increase absorption for medicines that contain aluminum, like it and increase your estrogen levels if you're on hormone therapy. As for orange juice, you might get some extra sugar and lose some fiber. Too much juice can also lead to weight gain, which can raise your heart disease, especially in your age. But both all oranges and their juice are for you.
Nigerian vegetable salad calls for an assortment of colorful vegetables, and whenever I am making a batch of vegetable salad, I always love to go all out with the veggies. In this video, I'll use some cabbage, lettuce, sweet onions, bell peppers, tomato, and peppers. Also need to help your vegetables fresh in Amazon is my favorite, and it helps keep my salad fresh for up to a week in fridge. The beauty of this salad is how well you cut it. Remember, we eyes first, and so taking time to cut the veg correctly will determine the overall look of the salad. With a very sharp knife and a chopping board, you can achieve the best cuts. I'm starting with the cabbage. Cut the cabbage in half. Take one half and set the other aside. The cabbage has beautiful patterns that can help guide your cuts, and it's important that you follow the patterns to achieve the perfect look. Place the knife on the side of the cabbage and start cutting out tiny strips, following the pattern. Be sure to make the strips as tiny and uniform in shape as possible. Now this is exactly how you want the strip cuts to look like, guys. Continue cutting until you get to the core of it and the scalpel. If you need, you can use up of the cabbage. If not, wrap the rest in foil paper and store in the crisper part of your fridge for up to 1. Place the shredded cabbage on the plate at that side. Next, we move to the carrots. I always use a box grater to shred my carrots. The box grater has different shaped cuts, but I really like to use one with the big oval shaped hole. Just grab a carrot, hold it straight up with your hand and brush it against the grater. This will give you long strips that look similar to the cabbage. But remember to hold the carrots in an upright position to achieve. When you're doing easy to view the shreds, you guys, it's always very carrot. I'm always excited to leave the ground and view beautiful shreds. Look at that, guys. That's like a mold. Now place the shredded carrots on a plate and set aside. Let's also get a good shred. Please also use the direction. Want the knife to it. You guys, the growth of the lettuce always gives me so much life. Place on the plate and set aside. For the cucumber, cut out the tubes in this card. Then cut the cucumber in half and then in quarters. Take out the inner part that contains the seeds. Then cut each quarter in strips and then others. Tomatoes also gets a good chopping as well. Tomatoes are very optional and I try to avoid them because they go bad really quickly and they spoil the whole salad. What I do is I chop them up and then I store them separately. When I want a salad, I add them to the plate of salad I'm about to eat. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm adding them to my salad bowl. If you want a pop of red color in your salad, you can use red bell peppers as a substitute. Remember that peppers are not spicy at all, they don't have any pepper sensation at all, they're really, really sweet and they add to your salads. Hard-boiled eggs are in a Nigerian salad. Just pop it, allow to cool slightly, peel off the shell and then cut in slices. The vegetables are all cut now. I gave my sweet corn and kidney beans a good rinse. It's all a matter of asking for a salad bowl. I also assemble vegetable in layers that you have to worry themselves. I find that it helps make it look pretty as well. So start with some cabbage, followed by then lettuce, cucumber, sweet corn, kidney beans, and tomatoes. Repeat the same process until you have exhausted all of the cut vegetables. You do not literally have to fry them. You can get your own pattern. And please also know that you can use any preferred vegetables of your choice. It's really up to you, okay? Like to pay extra attention to the top because that's what anyone will see first, and a pretty looking salad will be very inviting. So ensure that all the vegetables you're using make an appearance at the top. They have to be distributed at the top so at first glance anyone can tell what vegetables are in the salad bowl. And of course, it just makes it look so nice. Finally, toppings, how I choose to add them. Now that it looks like a salad to me and will definitely attract someone who loves the salad. Now the salad recipe people enjoy outside with a dish.
Please do yourself that favor and get that nutrition inside of you. Looking at the way the salad was prepared. Let's enjoy ourselves, and not until there's an urgent need. Once in a while, let's prepare things like this and let's enjoy it. It's beautiful. So please take a cue from us here and let's do this for ourselves and for our families. And it's a pleasure being here today. We'll be back again next week, Saturday, on another edition of this program, Spring Delight from Western Spring Television. Thanking you for being a part of us, for taking time out to be with us on this show, and most especially to our producers, to the directors, the camera team, the sound man, everybody who was in one way or the other supported us to bring this production to you. Thank you for being there. Tunde Idowu is my name. It's Irresistible TD on X. And I will say, let's do the needful and let's always put a smile on the faces of others. I'll see you next.
Evelyn Ohiole, King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she didn't answer the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and it feels so reserved. It really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe it's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but the too much attachment is mental. I can get anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of.
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said he likes saying when I was in the world, and the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent facially, but deep down, she's actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So MC Too Much, I beg when you talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk, I kiss my words.
I think they have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach too much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his words, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
In 2015, when we started with the cleaning of the beach, somebody called me and he was like, oh, there's a turtle. So I was expecting one little turtle, and I saw this gigantic turtle. And I posted this on Facebook, and I said, you won't believe, we just rescued our first turtle. Calling all marine biologists, please share. And I put my number out because I didn't know what to do. I was panicking and I didn't want to die. I was looking for anybody and everybody. We got calls across the world. Denmark, what to do with After I think about 3 days or 4 days, people like that the turtle play a major role in farming. The most important thing is to teach people and show people the roles these turtles play, especially in the local communities who are fishermen. Most of these fishermen, the nets are quite expensive for them, and it takes a lot of time for these fishermen to actually make those nets. So when they have a turtle in their nets, they have to cut the net open. Until the net open, they lose their fishing net and they lose their means of livelihood. So cases like that, we compensate financially or we buy new nets for them. We have to encourage them to keep those turtles in the oceans. And the way we do that is to let them know that these turtles are your friends. They eat the jellyfish that kill your fish. And if there's so much jellyfish in the ocean and so less sea turtles, all the fish will be gone. And because of that, they want to protect their interests, so they will protect the turtles as well. I'm trying to let people know that the sea turtles are critically endangered. We don't have so many of them right now. We have these also. It has inspired those how can we save the turtles. So many people are now regarding to the turtles. Thank you so much for your These turtles, they don't speak, but sparkling is second chance at life. It makes me feel very good. Giving back life to the ocean is something that really, really makes me fulfilled.
English is not cool, but it's on sale in our cities, risking extinction and our health. And many of our iconic wild animals are threatened. So please be cool and say no to illegal bushmeat. And let's make Nigeria better for wildlife and safer for us all. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
Arrested, affected, sound, found. What do we see? What do we say? Flowing from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Eva is pounding current events. Up down on the business gist. To the globally rising happenings. To sports news. To the sweet info. Judgment, intuition, and still fact. Second, new orders are fired. Freedom, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Bon, déjà, je m'appelle Koray King, je suis artiste graphiste illustrateur. Ce que je sais, c'est que je me suis juste rendu compte que j'avais un message à passer, à dire au monde. Et je ne savais pas que ce type de message pouvait faire de moi un artiste. Je ne me suis pas rayé ce combat, c'est comme je revenais dans ce combat. Comme je dis, il y a des peuples autochtones de la forêt et des peuples anciens. Donc on ne peut pas dissocier. J'appartiens à un milieu, je suis au Gabon, un milieu tropical, très humide. Donc du coup, le rythme et la vie que la nature impose aux hommes, tu ne peux que te sentir à l'aise. Il y a une façon d'être à l'aise et d'être bien lorsqu'on vit dans ces zones tropicales, humides. Pourquoi le Gabon ne s'est pas préservé de ça? C'est ce qui me fait rire, en même temps c'est une question qui m'attriste, parce que on n'a pas besoin de vous dire de faire quelque chose pour votre milieu de vie. C'est comme quand tu sais que il faut que tu manges quelque chose. Nous sommes un peuple de la forêt. Et comme je disais, nous sommes... En fait, c'est pas l'un contre l'autre. C'est l'un et l'autre. On ne peut pas dire culture gabonaise sans dire nature. Et voilà pourquoi il faut faire un travail très détaillé, très clair pour la génération qui viendra après nous, pour qu'ils comprennent le défi qu'on avait à l'époque de notre ère. Je pense qu'aujourd'hui, nous sommes devant l'histoire, devant une jeunesse, devant des jeunes qui nous suivent. Je pense que pour nous, il est important ce type de projet qui va pousser les enfants à s'intéresser à la protection de l'environnement. Ce que je sais, c'est que nous sommes dans une ère où il faut faire quelque chose, parce qu'on appelle certaines valeurs. Parce que ce que l'homme il a oublié, il a l'impression qu'il est le plus fort, mais c'est le plus fragile. C'est le plus fragile dans la chaîne. Le message que je passerai maintenant en tant qu'artiste, c'est que, en disant que bon, il faut qu'on s'arrête à un moment donné. Qu'est-ce qu'on essaie de faire? Où va l'environnement? Comme disait là, nous sommes au bord du vide, ça ne fait rien, on va disparaître. Ce message de prendre conscience, les droits de la société, est-ce que arrêter la société dans le bon sens ou on la fait rétrécir? C'est ce que le message me fait à travers vous.
Since assuming the mantle of leadership in Osun, the state of the Living Spring, Governor Ademola Adeleke has left no one in doubt about his avowed commitment to the overall development of the state. The footprints of his transformative agenda span through education, transportation, health, staff welfare, social structure, among others. Living Spring Day, a weekly diary on 917 and West Television and 180 Star Times DT with extra Governor Adeleke's development agenda for your listening and viewing pleasure. From the bustling market to initiates from the tales of civil and retirees to the years of artisans, across the state of stewardess of how the delicate administration is driving and roles of state. Stay informed and engaged. Listening will be to do some infrastructure projects, new initiatives, healthcare, education, and other impactful strides being made across the state. Sunday every Wednesday, West Television, and yesterday on Rave 91.7 FM at exactly 2:30 p.m. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Western Spring Television and at Rave 917 FM as we tell the story of how Governor Adeleke is shaping Osun into the beacon of development and opportunity.
Living Spring Update is a production of the Office of the Spokesperson to the Governor, Governor's Best, Oshogbo.
As it is.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. This old English proverb was first coined in 1913. It was based on a Pembrokeshire proverb that originated in 1866, which meant eating nutritious food like apples will make one healthier. Therefore, one will not need to visit the doctor often. Although research shows that eating more apples may not necessarily lessen the doctor's visits, it can help improve many aspects of one's health. Well, in order to even it out on both sides, patient, doctor, let us agree that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But if the doctor is cute, forget the fruit. It is with such delight that I welcome you on board this brand new broadcast of Spring Clinic live from the Western Spring Television studios. My name is Temitope Ajijola Oluwola. Sincere appreciation to the esteemed Dr. Adelye Oyewole, who built the foundation for us to thrive on the show. A Spring Clinic will delve into everything health and well-being, so we can help you not only to feel better, but also bring you information that will help you reduce the risk of diseases, lengthen your lifespan, save you money, and benefit the environment. I will not be on the broadcast alone. We will be having the honor of our on-air medic, seasoned family physician with over a decade's worth of experience under his sleeve. Dr. Ayodeji Ogungbemi, taking us through every session, step by step, and every now and then. Specialists in the different fields would also be joining us to shed some more light, offering and their expert opinion. Today, we will be starting from the basics. What is health? Or rather, what is good health? Be not dismayed, dear viewer. I'm just a man like you, willing to learn more about my health and get better at it. Dr. Ayodeji Ogungbemi is on the set of Spring Clinic today. Thank you for coming on the show, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So let's take it from the very beginning, Doctor. What is good health?
Thank you once again. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I answer your question, I need to appreciate Dr. Oyewole Adeoye for the wonderful work he has done so far. not only on Spring Clinic, but he's also a teacher to me. And, he trained me in school as part of my trainer, so I respect him a lot. Having said that, let me go to your question.
Yes.
And I want to appeal that our viewers shouldn't expect big vocabularies, because the purpose of this program is to reach out to them, not to give them big terminologies that they'll have to open a medical dictionary to look into. So what is good health? Good health is a state of physical, social, and mental well-being. Not only the absence of a disease. Long before now, the thinking of what a good health is only about an absence of disease. That's why you find somebody, you ask someone, how are you? He says, I'm fine. Because he has not been to the hospital, because he or she is not having a headache, he or she is not having cough, he or she is not having abdominal pain. And the person says, I am fine, because he or she is not hypertensive, is not diabetic, you know. And they say things like, I'm fine. That person may not necessarily be fine. So the World Health Organization went further, because medicine is growing, is increasing. And I also need to say this, that I'm also like a human being like you.
Yes.
And I want to know more myself. So it's beyond being sick, it's now being well. Because being sick, the goal of whoever is sick is to survive. Whereas the goal of well-being, which is what we're advocating for now, is to thrive. And that's why the new concept is there. So it's about physical, social, and mental well-being. So you can put it like this: physical, social, and mental thriving in terms of one's health, in terms of one's life, as it were. I know you may want to, maybe I should just talk more on that before we move into other things. So I'll cite an example. Physical well-being, I'm going to talk about things like your weight, your diet, your exercise, which, if not well addressed, may lead to an infirmity, that is, may lead to a disease condition. Let me give you scenarios. Anybody watching? That one is not sick does not mean that one is fine. Somebody may tell you, I'm exhausted, I'm fatigued. That is not, as it were, a disease condition, but it's a state of the person's well-being. That is, there's a problem. Social interactions is there. If I come here and I nag, there's no disease condition on nagging, but it's not a good social interaction. That I can't relate well with a colleague is not a disease condition. That I'm frustrated is not a disease condition, but whoever is frustrated is not well. You know, when we say mental well-being, I'm trying to break it down. Does not mean the person has a mental breakdown. It means that the person is mentally stable. You know, let me crack a little joke here. Presently I work at a very busy unit in the hospital, and usually I speak to psychiatrists. You know, Dr. What is also a psychiatrist? And I speak to psychiatrists. I tell them, don't you think you should just evaluate us? That the kind of cases we see, I see horrible cases, you know, at the emergencies. I see trauma cases. I have to deal with the emotions of other people. I have to deal with traumatic cases. So I tell them, if I see all this every day, and I've seen it every day for the past few weeks to months, do you think I'll be okay? I think I need an evaluation. Now, I'm not sick, but I'm talking about mental health. Have you also seen, I'll give you the scenarios, people that work in the morgue. You know, there's a way they talk to people, because they deal with dead people. So they don't, and somebody's saying, I don't want to die, they're like, what is there? You know? So they don't have a disease, they may not have hypertension, diabetes, stroke, and the likes, but we need their mental health, we need to really evaluate it. Are they still on the border of normal in terms of social interaction and in terms of what they see to be normal and what they see not to be normal? So putting all this together, good health is now far beyond not having a disease condition. It is now about your well-being, both physically, socially, and mentally. Maybe I should put a stop there.
All right. Because I was going to ask if there are types of health, and you've mentioned good health, mental, physical. Are those types of health, or there are other types of health? Good health.
Okay. It is not that we have a type of good health. Good health is good health. And when we are talking about good health, just as I started, it's a holistic thing. I can't separate one from the other. I can't say that you have a good physical health, but you don't have a good mental health. Well, we may say that maybe in the teaching hospital or for teaching sake, but really a human being is a human being. And whoever has mental well-being issues will soon have social well-being issues and will soon have physical well-being issues. Let me give an example. If I'm not interacting with you well, I have poor social network, I have a poor social interaction, I don't have anybody I can call a friend amongst my colleagues, I tend to do my things alone, no interaction, poor interaction. It's just a matter of time, it will start affecting my mental health. Then a time will come, it now starts to come into the realm of a disease condition. Then I may be paranoid. I may say things like, they don't like me, nobody wants me, I'm just on my own. Then if it keeps going on like that, frustration will come in, poor job satisfaction will come in, poor relationships issues. Then just a matter of time, things like blood pressure issues might start coming based on that. Then it will also affect the choices the person will make. Because if I'm to make a decision, even as I'm seated here now, if I'm making a decision, I have to put on the table so many things. But if I can't interact with a colleague effectively, my decisions will be poor. It will get back to me. Maybe I need help. I can't reach out to you for help. Then I have to try to do everything by myself. Then the time comes, I will start to have issues. So with that has brought medicine into a state to talk about holistic health. So when we are talking about good health, so it's not something we should really separate. We should talk about holistically. Is this person fine? That is, we have considered both the physical, the mental, and the social. So under the social, we talk about emotions. No, we talk about social interactions. Under the mental, we talk about psychologically, we talk about emotionally, you know. So based on your question, I want to say we don't need to differentiate. We just need to put it holistically. Is this person well? Because they are intertwined. One will lead to the other and then back to it, and it keeps going on and on.
So, doctor, physical health, emotional, even financial health.
Yes, finances. It's part of the social interaction.
Yes. Can someone, a person, be completely healthy without free of diseases, free of financial issues, bothering the mind, free of stress, free of emotional breakdown, free of depression, free of physical injury, and all of that? Can a person be completely
wholly
healthy?
That's a very big question. And that's like, you're not fair to me.
I'm sorry, but we all want to get to know.
Can one be, maybe transiently, but that is the goal. And I'm speaking as a family physician now, because we don't only, that's not just about family medicine, everything is going holistic. And what do I mean by that? Number one, when you talk about things like this, you look at genetics. Plays a role. I don't have a choice over my genetic composition. My genetic composition spans generations. My dad, my mom, my dad's dad, my dad's mom, my mom's dad, his dad's dad, his dad's mom. I have contributions, I don't know how many generations back. I don't have a choice over my genetic composition. My genetic composition will determine the kind of liver I will have, will determine the kind of lungs I will have, will determine the kind of organs I have, the kind of skin I have. Likewise, it also determines some disease conditions people may have. So that's one, and nobody can alter that, as it were, the composition. However, the manifestation of the composition is another thing, and that's where we bring about the environmental component. Now, the environmental component can be modified. For example, we say things like your diet, you know, that's part of the environmental component. Even at the environmental component, there are the modifiable ones, the non-modifiable ones. Life stressors, there are modifiable ones, non-modifiable ones. The road I'm going to pass through my house, I can't modify it. That is part of the environmental factor. That's part of what the government should do. But if the government does it or they don't do it, it has an impact on my health status because it will increase the stressors I'm going through. So I can determine what I eat, you know, but I may not be able to determine the road I pass through. Very important. I can determine the choice of my career. I may not be able to determine the environment of my career. For example, when we talk about the work settings, my employer is meant to determine that. So if the work setting is not good, it affects my mental health because if it's a highly stressed environment, then it affects the mental health. So as you asked, can we have somewhere that is 100% well? Wow, I'm not sure we can. But we keep pushing, we keep getting better because we have the modifiable components and the non-modifiable components. Let me give you another scenario because on this genetics, I can keep talking on and on. It's not just that one's genetic composition. It's also about the degree. So it's not just about that we have a genetics. Okay, let me use diabetes mellitus. I think using a disease condition will help. We have diabetes of different types. There's a type, now medicine makes us understand that all the types have genetic composition about it. A type starts early, a type starts later in life. So basically 2 types. The third type, generally speaking now, is associated with maybe pregnancy. So you have type 1, type 2, and then pregnancy induced or pregnancy based. But even the type 1, type 2 are now merging. But what I'm trying to say is that there are some that from childhood, they have to be on insulin. It is not the child's fault. That is something he got or she got from both parents. And there are some children that they have diabetes mellitus, but may not necessarily be on insulin because the type or the expression of the genetic components of diabetes mellitus that child got from the parents varies from one to another. So, addressing that question, it's a big one. It's a really big one. It's a big one. But we keep striving, and we keep modifying the modifiable. While we keep looking at the non-modifiable to see if people that should help do something about it can do something about it. That's particularly about the environmental factors. Then there's a third component to well-being, and that's where we talk about the emergencies. I like to say from my experience and from what I know, emergencies can also be on 2 categories. Number 1, there's emergencies that are due to carelessness. For example, somebody is diabetic, did not treat himself well or herself well, has not been going to the clinic well or follow-up, has not been using medications well, then comes down with a complication of diabetes mellitus, and then comes in as an emergency. That's a different one. To me, that's due to carelessness. Now, there's another type of emergency. That's one I really call emergency. That is, it is not the person's fault. And trauma falls largely under that. Somebody leaves his house in the morning, a careless rider slams on the person. The person, it's not the person's fault, really. He's a pedestrian walking where he should walk, or maybe a driver, a tire got faulty. He did a good checkup in the morning. You know, there are some drivers that don't do good checkups in the morning on their vehicle. So he did it, but something went on the road, brake failure, things like that, and an accident happened. That is unplanned for. That's an emergency. That is, they're both emergency, but that's, you know, so yes, it's not something the person planned for, waking up in the morning, and it's not due to one's fault, as it were. So that is also happening to somebody, which can affect the well-being of the person or people around the person. You know, I don't know if I'm communicating.
Are.
Yes. So the genetic component is there, the environmental component is there, then my own terminology now, the accidental, unplanned component is there. Something, for example, you talked about financial now. Nobody, as at last month, or maybe last year, while planning for this year, I don't think anybody planned dollar naira will be this way. So it's going to affect a lot of the mental health of people. It's affect the social health of people because couples may fight on this and things like that. Then another component. I'm sorry, I'm just
several components.
Another component is coping mechanism. Despite all these stressors, individual people have different coping mechanisms. I like to break it into two. Okay. We have the inherent coping mechanisms and we have the acquired coping mechanisms. That is, there's a way everybody looks into coping when they're under stress. And the acquired is the one that everyone should learn. That, okay, irrespective of my own inherent coping mechanism, which may be good or bad, I need to now learn the good coping mechanism. You get it? So that will also affect the health, the well-being of people. The stress is there, the non-modifiable factors are there, a disease condition may be genetically caused, may be there. How is the person coping? A vivid example is this. Somebody has diabetes mellitus, or two people have it, person A, person B. They are both on insulin. One has a good coping mechanism because anybody that has diabetes mellitus will visit the hospital more frequently, we have more tests done than somebody that does not have. So it is possible that there could be, in fact, different studies have shown that some people that have these chronic conditions may be more depressed than an average person that does not have these conditions. Now, amongst those that have, there will be some that are coping well, which may be due to their social environment, maybe the kind of environment they belong to, their parents, their family. It could be supportive, workplace may be supportive, the country they belong to, or they are living in may be supportive. It will be different from another person. So the coping mechanism also affects how they manage such conditions. And these are factors that will come into the well-being of a person. So let me just stop at those 4 points because I can't keep.
Yes, I was already getting lost in all of this. But doctor, you have talked about the fact that all of these health factors, or I would say types, the mental, the physical, and others, they are somewhat intertwined.
Yes.
If I feel like I don't have a good relationship with my colleague, or something happened and I didn't handle it well, and I see it from what you said, maybe a health issue, should I just go to the doctor? Is this something in Nigeria? Let's talk about it. I mean, in other climes, it might be seen as normal. But in Nigeria, would it be seen as something worth visiting the doctor for?
Yes, I understand that question very well, particularly in the context of Nigeria.
Because I was still going to ask if I have been to the doctors several times. I mean, hospital environment. I see people bringing in physical health conditions like injuries, headaches, fever. But I hardly find someone saying, doctor, I think I'm thinking too much. I need your help. Or I was speaking with my child yesterday, I snapped. I need your help. Does it really happen? And should we just get to the doctor's place when this happens?
Well, let me talk about the ideal, then talk about Nigeria. Because we want me to open a lot, but this is to help people, and I believe policymakers are also listening. So let me say, the ideal is that the answer should be a yes. The answer should be a yes. I'm not saying it is a yes. It should be that. The ideal should be that Your doctor should be like your next person. In fact, the concept of medicine now, particularly if you talk about family medicine, is that there should be a doctor that knows you for you. And maybe I'll talk about it maybe later in the program. A doctor should know you for you. By the time you're saying that I am your doctor, it's not just about you came, I've seen you twice. I should be able to tell you, if they mention your name, I should be able to say this is her name, this is her age. When she was young, she had these issues. When she was a teenager, she had these issues, this and that. This is her blood type. These are temperament. This is this. Being a female, these are female issues she has. Okay, childbirth. She has a history of this. I should talk about you. Just like, maybe not like God, the way we talk about God, but I should talk about you, for you. That is something we are moving into. And that's something that should be. But in the context of Nigeria, which is the real question you asked, it has not been like that. Though it should be like that, but it has not been like that. And let me speak now. It has not been like that because, number one, there's a narrative that we are not yet imbibing. The narrative is that we are coming from the curative aspect to the well-being aspect. The developed countries they left curative medicine a long time ago. So we are just imbibing the well-being aspect. That's why different hospitals now are now coming with wellness clinics where the person does not have a complaint. He just come. He doesn't even have a complaint. He just come in and they're talking about diet, talking about his weight and things to do, how to behave, how to talk. We're having a lot of counseling coming up, a lot of issues like that. Not go and use this drug. Are you sleeping well? Are not sleeping well? So, and because of other factors in the country, there's been a drag in that transition. So, one of the factors is, I was smiling when you asked the question, when you were given the scenario, that if somebody comes into an average Nigerian clinic now, average Nigerian hospital, and says, doctor, I want to see you because I snapped yesterday. The doctor will look at me and say, even me.
I snapped too.
Even me. In fact, I will snap at you now. Well, it shouldn't be like that, but there are a lot of other factors that we are not putting into place. Number one is that even the doctor is not happy. Even the doctor is not well. Let me not use happy now. He's not well or she's not well because of other factors. And I think these are the factors. If you look at, you've asked me a really big question today. Do you know why the developed countries are picking doctors and nurses from Nigeria? Because they are looking far beyond, they have gone far beyond the curative. It's not just about a disease condition. They are looking into what the medical practice should look like. Everybody should have access. I should be able to speak with a doctor. But we are not seeing it yet. That way we see it as you need a doctor when the person is about to die. You get it. So that's why, before coming here, I had an interaction with some of the doctors in my unit. And we are saying things like, we are expecting a big problem very soon. We're already in a big pot of soup, but it looks like we'll leave the pot and go into the fire. Why? People have financial issues now. They can't get their drugs because it's now expensive. They don't have money for it. So it means that they will likely go tradomedical. Now, I'm not speaking against tradomedicine. I believe some of these herbs and co work, but we have not investigated it well enough to look at the impurities and the dosaging. Now, and I believe we've had enough time to have done that, but we have not done it. So people, then a lot will now stay at home until when we now have complications. Presently, we are having issues of increased chronic kidney diseases, hypertension coming as complications. But with this economic issue, I think it's still
I'm going to hold you right there. We need to quickly go pay our bills here.
Okay.
All right, viewers, if you've been listening in, you'll see that we've had an interesting conversation up until this moment, but we'll be taking a break now. And when we get back, Doctor will take it right where we stopped.
to 75% of human infectious diseases originates in animals. And as more bushmeat is brought into our cities, the risk of human infectious disease outbreaks increases. Ebola, monkeypox, Lassa fever, yellow fever, and even COVID-19 may have been transmitted in this way. Illegal bushmeat trade not only endangers our wildlife, but affects our health and may damage our economy. So please, say no to illegal bushmeat. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
James Ajibolaige was a lawyer who obtained his first degree in classics from Nigeria's premier University of Ibadan. Born September 13, 1930, the orator and the polyglot spoke impeccable English, French, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba languages. His fine diction placed him among classical orators and public speakers like Cicero, the Roman orator. This attribute earned him the prefix Cicero of Esauke. He authored Kaduna Boy, an autobiography, Detainee's Diary, Constitution, and the People, among 6 other books. Bolaige was a colorful politician, elected governor of Oyo State in 1979 and appointed a federal minister in 1999. He was a pioneer founder of Afenifere, the Yoruba social, cultural, and political group. He invested his political sagacity to propel the group to the height of political leadership and decision-making in the southwest area. Bolaige was assassinated on the 23rd December 2001. His murderers are yet to be apprehended till today. Western Spring Television identifies Bolaige as a watershed character in history.
Illegal bushmeat is not cool, but it's on sale in our cities, risking extinction and our health. And many of our iconic wild animals are threatened. So please be cool and say no to illegal bushmeat. And let's make Nigeria better for wildlife and safe for us all. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
Thanks for keeping faith with us on Spring Clinic on Western Spring Television. And it's been an interesting conversation with Dr. Ayodeji Ogungbemi here on the show. And we've been talking about what good health is and all of the factors surrounding that. And it's really been interesting. And Doctor was saying something before we went on break about curative medicine and how what the ideal is and what it is not.
Yes, you asked the question about people coming to the hospital and just for wellness sake, not for disease condition. And I said one of the major problems is that even the doctor, that should be the normal thing. But we have a problem in the context of Nigeria because even the doctor is not well. Maybe well physically, but may not be well socially, may not be well mentally. You know, we have defined wellness that it is not about it's not just about absence of disease condition. I'm not saying that they have psychiatric problem, but I'm saying, for example, a lot of them are stressed. So when it comes to a stressed environment, what we look at, because I'm also a doctor, so you know, I tell people that sometimes when you see me somewhere else smiling, I mean, not necessarily smile in the hospital. You know, when people are stressed and we have volumes of people to see, then you now start talking about prioritization. We prioritize who is going to, who will die if I don't intervene. So then the person that has a complaint on just wellness will be pushed aside. I once told the client many years ago now, so the person told me that she had a headache, and I said, I would treat you, well, madam. I'm sure that my headache now. It's more than your headache.
Higher magnitude.
You know, that's an example. So it's a big issue. And if I'm to address it, as I said, policymakers will be listening to this also. The jackpot problem now will increase that. You know, I have a friend that relocated recently with his family, that before relocating, he was doing well. He's a major person in his specialty. He's doing very well. It's somebody that, even being a contemporary, I look at him like, I want to be like you. And then he told me he has got an offer and he's leaving because of job satisfaction. There are some things he would want. Now, I'm using it as a case scenario. There are some things that a doctor will want to work with. That's where we come to infrastructure. Absence or inadequate infrastructure will affect the wellness of the people. Because if I don't have what to work with, I will have a problem attending to you. And the way the government prioritizes these things is such that they look at what people will see and things that are curative. So in their purchase, they will get things that are curative and they're not focusing on things on well-being. If I'm going to attend to you on well-being, I will need time. I will need time to talk to you, to know what the real problem is. So it's not a 5-minute clinic session that will let me know that your problem borders on marital issue, though having a manifestation in your social interaction. Let me give you another scenario, a very common scenario. Sometimes people come to the hospital and they give complaints like having, maybe, let me give an example, maybe low back pain. Or the low back pain is common, only to find out after good interaction with the physician that the problem is not a low back pain, really. The problem is that he or she has a problem with the spouse. So it is that problem that the person has, how should I use the word, adjusted and is now having a physical manifestation. Such person will do different tests and everything will be normal. Until you have quality time to engage that person, until you find out, okay, it's marital. Okay, let me speak with your spouse. Can two of you come around? I can't do that in 5 minutes. But I have a lot of clients waiting outside telling me, doctor, I've been here since 8. You saw person 1, 5 minutes, person 2, 5 minutes, person 3, 5 minutes. This person is inside. You are spending 30 minutes. In fact, you find some very vocal patients who will come and knock on your door. Oh, sir, we are waiting. So it's a complex issue. And I believe that it's so complex, but I believe it's so easy to do. It comes from the top. If it's a priority for government, then, let me not just say government, for leaders, then we'll start changing narrative. And it will affect what we get. It will affect the kind of clinics we have. Most hospitals that are being built, I'm not talking about the private ones, they are not built to accommodate wellness. They are built to accommodate curative medicine. How many consulting rooms do you find in many of these public hospitals? Even in the clinics, how are the clinics built? The clinics are not built in such a way that you have to be relaxed for me to talk with you. The clinics are built in such a way that I have to see you on time and you go. I don't think I get my... So it's a big issue. And let me say, it's a big issue. It's a national issue. It's a big issue. It's a national issue. Maybe I shouldn't talk too much.
No, you're not.
But I need to say that that is what should be. I should be able to go to the doctor for any reason. You know, when I was coming up, I need to say this because people are listening. A lady came from Germany and came to the clinic I was in then and told the nurses that she would have a seizure very soon, that she would convulse. And the nurses were looking. What do you mean you will convulse? You walked into this place, you are telling me I will convulse. So So they were just laughing and they were like, ah, madam, are you psychologically okay? Because what they had been exposed to over the years had been curative. That is, they bring in those that are convulsing. A normal person, apparently normal person, should not say, I will convulse. Now, that's an example of where she's coming from. That's an example of the level of their healthcare, where she's coming from, and our level. This lady is a known seizure disorder patient. She had mastered herself with her physician in Germany that she knows the aura. There's a feeling they have when pre the seizure. Though in terms of knowledge, that feeling is also part of the seizure, the manifestation of the seizure. But the person knows that something is about to happen. And they have been trained that when they have that feeling, that aura, they go to the hospital so that she doesn't just fall anyhow. Then they can administer necessary medications and prevent it. So these people started talking to her, are you fine? I hope you are okay. And then she convulsed. It was then I got to know, I ran out, okay, because you hear, grrr, you know. Got there, I convulsing, then they now said that she was telling us that she would convulse. So I had to educate them because they had been used to curative. They are not being used to the well-being. So you can see that it's even affecting the training. So that's why I said it's a national issue. Our leaders at the top must really sit down to draft a path. Presently, I don't think there's a path. We are just doing what we know. There should be a path that, okay, this is where we want to take Nigeria's health care into. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much of government issues.
But we've been enjoying you, really. But there is something I would like to ask before, you know, it's time up on the show. What are the ways that a person can preserve their wellness, both physical, well, maybe not physical, because like you talked about emergencies, but emotional, especially in our client, Nigeria? How do we preserve our good health, the little one we have? How do we preserve it?
I like I like the way you are putting it. Yes, well, we, as I said, we may not be able to separate it. Both physical, mental, social, the ones we can modify. Let me start from the very common ones we know. That's the physical side. The physical side, or generally speaking, people should be close to their doctors. You have the choice of looking for the kind of hospital you like and the kind of health care worker you like. People should even, I advocate that we should even dig deep into knowing the competencies of the hospital you want to use and the physician that you want to adopt as your family physician. Looking at competencies. Not everybody is as good as, we are not equal. That's one. Then there may be peculiarities, you know. So maybe this person is a specialist in this area. I rebuked somebody, a friend of mine recently. He's a non-hypertensive, was not using the drugs well, and told me that it was under specialty doctor that gave her the medication. And I rebuked the person. I said, that specialty doctor, there's a way each specialty thinks. If you meet a nephrologist, there's a way, if you tell them you have hypertension, there's a way a nephrologist would think. Though there's a common ground for everybody, but based on their specialty, there's a way they think on kidney matters. So dig deep, investigate, and make your choice. That's one. Two is that there must be regular checkups. Now, and here comes the periodic medical assessment, which is what I said I would say earlier. The periodic medical assessment, medical now is not only physical, both physical, mental, and social. The periodic medical assessment or periodic health assessment, some people call it medical checkup, is for apparently normal people. Apparent, that is, the person doesn't have a complaint at that time, but goes for a checkup. So with that checkup, because the person is apparently normal, we will know the apparently normal state of that person. Because when people come in a disease condition, their parameters are altered already. Maybe I should give you an example here, maybe a test.
What time?
You don't need to answer. If I ask you, what's your normal PCV? You may not know, and you may know. Most people, you know it? Yes, okay. Most people know the one that was done when they had a disease condition. So they may tell me it's 33. Though 33 appears low, well, let's say 38. My next question would be, this 38, was it when you had a disease condition or when you were apparently normal? If it's a disease condition, then this PCV is not the normal for you. Now, if there's a good periodic health assessment, the PCV would have been done at different times in an apparently normal state, that I will know the normal range for you. Because what we do in medicine is that there's a range for everybody. We say adult PCV, maybe 38 to 48 for a male.
You see, doctor, we could take you all day, but we really have to go now, really. I mean, they're already disturbing to go.
No problem.
Viewers, you have heard, you should get your periodic medical checkup for your good health to be preserved. And it's been an amazing and beautiful time, interesting conversation with Dr. Ayodeji Ogungbemi here on the show today on Spring Clinic. So going home today, I'd say an apple a day may not keep the doctor away, but it's a healthy choice anyway. So looking forward to seeing you next time on Spring Clinic. My name is Temitope Ajijola Oluwola. Bye-bye.
bíró ẹmọdàwòrò kọ́ọ̀dẹ́ má dìbò sí. bá ṣe gbé ètò yìí kalẹ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kóníkálùkù fi ṣe òdiwọ̀n ìdílé wọn. òtítọ́ ọbẹ̀ ni pé kò sí ìdílé kan tí ò ní pèníjà tiẹ̀. ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tó yẹ kí a sì pé inú ilé yìí sọ bí ìdíje rí gbèrò ẹnulókàkùn pẹ̀lú wọn lọ́kọláya lọ́lọ́kan òjò ní ètò níbẹ̀ lọ́mọ Afọlábí ó ti mọ tàkó tó béèrè wọn lọ́rọ̀ sílẹ̀ níbẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ sì àwọn àlejò náà yóò mọ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n fi dà sí mọ̀ bí ó mọ̀ pé ìwà Afọlábí ètò yìí mọ̀ mẹ́mọ́rọ́ ẹ̀rí wọn láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ ní ìkànnì máwòrán West Spring Television náà dọ̀wà lórí látà ẹ̀bírò tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ó máa yàtọ̀ ní kò ní yàtọ̀ fọ́.
Ìlú Abẹ́òkúta gẹ́gẹ́ bí orúkọ rẹ̀ ìlú tí a tẹ̀dó sábẹ́ Olúmọ ó jẹ́ ibùgbé àwọn ẹ̀yà Ẹ̀gbá àti Òwu tó jìjàǹgbara lọ́wọ́ Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ àtijọ́ láàrin ọdún 1775 sí 1780 ní akọni Lísàbí Àgbòǹgbò Àkàlà léwájú wọn láti dáwọ́ sísan ìṣákọ́lẹ̀ fún Aláàfin dúró. Ìdí nìyí tí àwọn ọmọ Abẹ́òkúta ṣe ń pe ara wọn ní ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá mọ Lísàbí Àgbòǹgbò Àkàlà. Ìlú Abẹ́òkúta jẹ́ ìlú àwọn ọ̀làjú àti aláfẹ́. Ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn òyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun ló fi bẹ̀ ṣe ìlú pàápàá ìjọba ní. Ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àkọ́kọ́ nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ní St. Peters tó wà ní Aké. Ilé ìwòsàn àkọ́kọ́ nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà Sacred Heart Hospital Abẹ́òkúta ló wà. Aláké lorúkọ oyè ọba ìlú Ẹ̀gbá. Ẹ̀sìn wà tẹ̀lé láti rí gbogbo ìlú Abẹ́òkúta ní orí òkè náà. Àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n àti onímọ̀ púpọ̀ ló jẹ́ ọmọ bíbí ìlú Abẹ́òkúta. Àwọn bíi ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Wọlé Ṣóyínká, Ọ̀tìmí Akóbìnrin fún Ransome Kuti àtọ̀pọ̀ àwọn míì. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àti àdìrẹ níṣẹ́ tó gbayì nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Ẹ̀gbá mọ Lísàbí. Èdè Yorùbá jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn èdè tí wọ́n ń sọ ní agbègbè Niger Congo. Èdè Yorùbá gbajúgbajà ní àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń bẹ ní ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Ó kéré tán, àwọn ènìyàn bíi mílíọ̀nù 14 ló ń sọ èdè Yorùbá lónìí. Ètò akọ́mọlédè ló dé sí láti ṣe máwòrán WSTV ìkànnì àádọ́wàá channel 190 lórí StarTimes. Yorùbá dùn púpọ̀, Yorùbá ò lè kú, Yorùbá ò lè parun, tiwa làṣà, tiwa lèdè, tiwa nìṣẹ̀ṣe, àkọmọlédè. Èkó Légọ́ọ̀sì, Èkó akéte ìlú ọgbọ́n, Èkó akéte ìlú ìmọ̀, ọmọ ọlọ́gbọ́n dorí ẹja mú, àwọn òmùgọ̀ àdìímú nírù, ẹni dẹ́kọ̀ tí ò gbọ́n ọgbọ́n rẹ̀ dọ̀run alákejì. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àrọ́bá, ẹni tó tẹ ìṣẹ́ridó tó sì kọ́kọ́ gbé ibẹ̀ lọ́dún 1699 ló jẹ́ ọdẹ tí orúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Ògúnfúnminíre, ọmọ ọba ìlú Ilé-Ifẹ̀ ní í ṣe. Ó máa ń ṣọdẹ lọ síbẹ̀ láti Ifẹ̀, ó sì pàgọ́ tó ti máa ń sinmi ṣáájú kó tún tó lọ bẹ ilé rẹ̀ wò. Nígbà tó yá, àwọn ọdẹ mìíràn wá darapọ̀ mọ́ láti ṣọdẹ. Nínú igbó yìí ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣọdẹ tí wọ́n sì ń pọ̀ sí i pẹ̀lú àwọn ènìyàn wọn. Báyìí ni wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tàn kálẹ̀ tó fi dé gbogbo ibi tí Èkó fẹ̀ dé lónìí. Ìlú Èkó, ìlú ńlá. Ìlú Èkó yìí ni ibùdó agbára ìṣàkóso ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà wà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí, pàápàá lásìkò ìjọba amúnisìn ṣáájú ọdún 1991 tí wọ́n gbé lọ sílùú Àbújá. Èkó àdèlé ọmọ agun àgẹ̀rẹ̀, Èkó ọmọ afíjú wọjà arìn gbẹ́ndẹ́kẹ́, ọ̀bùn wọjà páṣíọ̀ṣíọ̀, ẹ̀yọ̀ ní bàbá Èkó, àríjó ṣe bí ọba. Èkó ọmọ odò tí ò ṣeé yájú sí, Èkó arómi sá lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ló ń kojú àwọn ará àdúgbò, àwọn ará àwùjọ tí ohun ò dẹ̀ dókè. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìnira, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìyà làwọn èèyàn ń kojú rẹ̀ ní àdúgbò. Ojú ọ̀nà tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó, iná ọba tó mẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe ségesège, àwọn tó ń hu ìwà àbàṣejẹ́ obì tí ń sun lẹ́rùn, àti àwọn nǹkan tí ò tí ì dé tí gbọ́ ìjọba. Ṣé wọ́n ní etí ọba nílé etí ọba lóko, èèyàn náà ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Òun náà ló jẹ́ kí ìkànnì Western Spring Television gbé ètò tí ó jẹ́ kẹ́yìn ara lé ẹ̀yin ará àwùjọ kẹ́lẹ́ mọ́ sọ bí tí bàtà bá ti ń ta yín lẹ́sẹ̀ fún àwọn aláṣẹ ìjọba. Ohun tẹ́ ẹ ṣe ni wípé ẹ mú fóònù yín o, ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yín, ẹ dábù rẹ̀, ẹ mọ̀ yá ní gbọ́rọ̀, ẹ dábù rẹ̀, ẹ ṣe àkàálẹ̀ ohun tó ń fẹ́ àmójútó ìjọba, ohun tó ń fẹ́ àmójútó àwọn aláṣẹ, ohun tó ń fẹ́ àmójútó àwọn elétò ìlera, àwọn elétò ààbò àti àwọn míì tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí fọ́nrán náà ìyẹn fídíò tẹ́ máa ṣe àkálẹ̀ rẹ̀ kó mọ̀ ju ìṣẹ́jú 2 tàbí 3 lọ. Ẹ má fi ṣọwọ́ sí wa ní orí WhatsApp lórí ẹ̀rọ 0803 865 1049 0803 865 1049. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn fọ́nrán yín, àwọn àwòrán yín kó máa wọlé. Orí ètò Ojú Ẹlẹ́rìí, ẹ̀yin gangan lẹ jẹ́ ojú ẹlẹ́rìí. Ohun táwọn èèyàn nílò, ohun tó ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn láwùjọ níyà, ilé tí ò nílé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀, ibi tí ò níbi tó ti ń dẹ ẹ̀gbin nù, tó wá jẹ́ pé ẹ̀gbin wọn ní àwọn ará àdúgbò, àwọn aráàlú lára, gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ fi tó àwọn aláṣẹ létí. Ohun tí ẹ nílò ní agbègbè yín, ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn aláṣẹ mọ̀. Orúkọ mi ni Adéyẹmí Ọlábọ̀dé, èmi ni atọ́kùn ètò Local Television, ìkànnì àádọ́wàá ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Ajé láago 2:00 ọ̀sán.
New York nílùú ńlá tó tóbi jù nílẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà. Kódà iye ènìyàn tó wà níbẹ̀ ló fi 2/3 ju ti ìlú Los Angeles lọ. Ó jẹ́ ibùdó fún oríṣiríṣi àṣà, ìgbafẹ́, iṣẹ́ ọnà, ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ, òṣèlú, ẹ̀kọ́, ọrọ̀ ajé kódà tó fi máa rẹ́ ìdárayá. New York yìí ló gbàlejò ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ olùdókòwò kárí ayé tó sì fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ gidi gan ni. Ìdí nìyí tí àwọn kan fi máa ń pè é ní olú ìlú orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé. Ohun ìdámọ̀ tó gbajúgbajà jù ní New York ní ère òmìnira Statue of Liberty, eléyìí tó ń ṣàfihàn bí ìlú náà ṣe fàyè gba onílé àtàlejò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni afárá Brooklyn kò lẹ́gbẹ́. Ó kéré tán ẹgbẹ̀rin ní oríṣi èdè tí wọ́n ń sọ ní New York. Èyí ló sì fa bí wọ́n ṣe máa ń sọ pé gbogbo èdè àgbáyé ló pé sílùú New York. Ní nǹkan ọdún 1624 ni àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀yà Dutch tẹ̀dó sí ibi tó ń jẹ́ New York báyìí. Amsterdam ni wọ́n ń pè é tẹ́lẹ̀ nígbà náà, àmọ́ lọ́dún 1664 ni wọ́n yí padà sí New York lẹ́yìn tí ọba King Charles kejì tí ti ilẹ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì fún arákùnrin rẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ ìyẹn Duke of York. Láti ọdún 1785 ló ti wá di olú ìlú ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà títí di òní olónìí. Ó jẹ́ ìlú ńlá tó kún fún ọ̀pọ̀ iṣẹ́ ọnà àti ibùdó iṣẹ́ àtinúdá oríṣiríṣi fún gbogbo ìran ọmọnìyàn. Ìlú New York lórílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà.
Bẹ́gùn ò bá jáde mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí owó gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúrò wa a tún ti dé náà nù ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited pẹ̀lú mọ̀ yín ọ̀bẹ orin ní àtúrẹ́ èpè mi sùsù tó bá wẹ̀ lórí àpè àlọ́ ìyá gbogbo ẹ̀ bá pè mí sí ìyóní jẹ́ yín farabalẹ̀ kí a bá wà Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní 90 ilẹ̀ Owambe Unlimited kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
wọ́n tún wí pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
Àtúwárí ní Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ọjọ́ 12 oṣù 12 ọdún 1991 ni wọ́n gbé ibùjókòó agbára Nàìjíríà kúrò nílùú Èkó lọ sílùú Àbújá lásìkò ìṣèjọba ológun ọ̀gágun fẹ̀yìntì Ibrahim Babangida. Ìlú Àbújá ní ìlú kẹjọ tí èrò pọ̀ sí jùlọ nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ó sì jẹ́ ìlú olódi tó wà ní àárín gbùngbùn. Gbogbo àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ àti àjọ ìjọba kọ̀ọ̀kan ló ní olú ọ́fíìsì wọn nílùú Àbújá gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ gan ni ibùjókòó agbára ìṣàkóso ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Lọ́dún 2003 ni àjọ Commonwealth gbé ìpàdé wọn wá síbẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni àjọ olókoòwò nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ ṣe lọ́dún 2014 kódà lọ́dún 2016. Àjọ tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọmọdé ìyẹn UNESCO gbà á gẹ́gẹ́ bí ibùdó ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn. Díẹ̀ lára àwọn ibùdó tó gbajúgbajà nílùú Àbújá ni àpáta agbára Aso Rock, ilé aṣòfin àpapọ̀, ilé aṣojúṣòfin ilẹ̀ yìí, àpáta Zuma Rock, Millennium Park, báńkì àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà CBN, mọ́ṣáláṣí àpapọ̀ àti ibùdó ilé ìjọsìn àpapọ̀ àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì. Ẹkùn ìdìbò 6 ló wà nílùú Àbújá: Abaji, Buhari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Kwali àti Abuja Municipal. Kílìṣì tó jẹ́ ohun ìpanu tí wọ́n fi ẹran pèsè ló jẹ́ oúnjẹ tó wọ́pọ̀ tí gbogbo èèyàn sì nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí nílùú Àbújá. Ó jẹ́ ibùdó ìsinmi fún ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn arìnrìn-àjò láti ẹkùn kọ̀ọ̀kan nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà nítorí pé àárín gbùngbùn ló wà. Ìlú Àbújá rèé o, ibùdó agbára ìṣàkóso ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, ògo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. níre làbàre ojú rẹ báyìí là fi wòwó ojú rẹ là fi wọ ọmọ tuntun ààyè rere là kọ́lé ọlọ́rọ̀ sí ibi rere là fìdí àmúkà bẹ́ẹ̀ sì rèé orí rere ń ti rèrè ìrere ò lórí ọ̀ràn o àtẹ̀mí àtẹ̀yìn a ò ní rẹrù ọ̀ràn o Elédùà yóò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò fi wá sáàyè tó dára ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí mo kí yín o pé ẹ tún káàbọ̀ lákọ̀tún sórí ètò yìí ètò wa ètò àkọmọlédè Rèmídò ìkànnì Western Spring Television láwà yìí ìkànnì móhùnmáwòrán ti yín níbi tá a gbé ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bó ti wà gangan tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ohun tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ kẹ́ ẹ wò òun náà làwa ní àká níkànnì Western Spring Television ìkànnì àádọ́wà rèé 190 bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ń ka òǹkà rẹ̀ ní Gẹ̀ẹ́sì lórí ìkànnì Star Times TTT bẹ́ẹ̀ sì rèé ayé gbà yín o ní àwọn ojú òpó ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo tó gbajúgbajà tẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ bí ẹni mowó tẹ́ ẹ fi lè tẹ̀lé wa Western Spring TV lórí ètò àkọmọlédè gbogbo tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìran Yorùbá àṣà wọn ẹ̀sìn wọn ìgbàgbọ́ wọn èrò wọn kódà tó fi mọ́ ọgbọ́n àmúṣe àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ wọn la máa ń gbé yẹ̀wò lórí ètò àkọmọlédè ṣẹ̀wárí báyìí pé ó tó torí ó tó wọn àjòkó tì ó tó wọn àjòkó láti wò torí pé ẹ tún kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lórí ètò àkọmọlédè ẹ káàbọ̀ lórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí lóko gbogbo àwọn ikọ̀ tá a jọ wà lórí ètò yìí àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ti dúró pé ìyá àkọmọlédè máa tó dé náà lájọ ń kíra wa o pé àtúnkàbọ̀ sórí àkọ́tún ètò fún tòní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ṣe wa a tún ti dira ètò ọ̀hún fún yín lónìí kẹ́yìn ó lè gbádùn rẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ tún lè kọ́ nǹkan tuntun àmọ́ ṣáájú ohun gbogbo ó kọ́ ọmọ nìjánu ọmọ o Olúṣọ́ Òjó ló kọ́ mi ìyá àjọ pèdèpèdè yíyá àkọmọlédè ló tún kí yín pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí àkọ́tún ètò àkọmọlédè Rèmídò fún tòní ó dá lórí ètò ọ̀hún fún tòní àkọ́kọ́ ṣe bá àti mọ́ mu lábala àkọ́kọ́ àbomi ọgbọ́n mu o lọ́dọ̀ Yẹmí Alára kó tó di pé a lọ sórí kókó ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo mú wá lónìí ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀ tí mo mú wá lónìí ó tan mọ́ ẹ̀sìn ó tan mọ́ àṣà àti ìṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá pabambarì rẹ̀ wá ni pé ẹ ó gbọ́ àwọn tó farasin àwọn tó pamọ́ tẹ́ ò mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ nípa ìran Yorùbá ṣùgbọ́n ká tó máa lọ sí àbẹ̀wọ̀n ẹ má gbàgbé pé àwọn ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo ló ṣílẹ̀ fún yín láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti tẹ̀lé wa pàápàá jùlọ ẹ jẹ́ ń gbọ́ ìmọ̀lára yín ìyá àkọmọlédè mo fẹ́ mọ ìmọ̀lára yín tẹ́rí abala àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ tó wà lábẹ́ fọ́nrán yẹn ẹ kọ nǹkan síbẹ̀ ẹ fi èrò yín síbẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká rí ẹ jẹ́ àmọ́ ó já mi lójú bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kọ́ àwa náà fún yín lésì ní báyìí ẹ já lọ tààràtàrà sọ́dọ̀ Yẹmí Alára ká lọ bomi ọgbọ́n mu lábala ààbọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ fún tòní.
The madman would like to carry his trade to the market. Only his people, who would be ashamed, will not allow him to do so. Ó wá ṣìwèrè kó rúgbà rẹ̀ wọjà. Àwọn aráalé rẹ̀ ni ò ní gbà fún un. Àmọ̀ràn pé ṣọ́ra láàrin àwọn èèyàn tó yí ọ ká àbáwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ tán hùwà àbàjẹ́ tán hùwà àdójútì tó sì wí fún wọn tán kọ̀ jálẹ̀ tán ò gbọ́ wọn bá ti ń wù ú tó sì ń sọ fún wọn tó ń kìlọ̀ fún wọn tí wọ́n wá kọ̀ tí wọ́n láwọn ò ní jáwọ́ dákun tètè tẹsẹ̀ mọ́rìn rẹ o kó o yẹ̀bá fún wọn kán mọ́ bá a fi wá tí wọ́n yí ọ mẹ́rẹ̀ kán mọ́ bó kan rere rẹ jẹ́ toró kan rere rèé ó sàn ju wúrà ń fàdákà lọ o. Ó wá ṣìwèrè kó rúgbà rẹ̀ wọjà o àwọn èèyàn rẹ̀ náà ò ní gbà fún un k'Elédùmarè ó jọ kọ́kọ́ gbogbo wa mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe àmín. Yẹmí Alára ń pe àní dààmú o.
ẹ ṣeun àjọ ní dààmú tí gbogbo wa ò sì níta aláṣẹ Elédùmarè bí ó ti mọ náà nu lábala àbọ̀rọ̀ yóò bá bọ̀ wọ́n pé àbọ̀rọ̀ báyìí là á sọ fọmọlúàbí nígbà tó bá dénú ẹ̀ tán ni yóò dòdìdì ó ti yá báyìí o tààràtàrà ẹ jẹ́ máa bọ̀ lórí tábìlì ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún tòní ìyá àkọmọlédè bó la tún lọ mo sọ fún yín ṣáájú níbẹ̀rẹ̀ pé nǹkan kan wà àwọn nǹkan kan tó farasin nípa ìran Yorùbá òun la fẹ́ gbé yẹ̀wò lónìí ìdí abájọ tètò ìfiwà náà nú o ó lè mọ là yín lọ́yẹ̀ẹ́ ó lè mọ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ àwọn nǹkan tí ó tọ́ yẹ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ torí pé ẹ ti mọ̀ pé níbi ẹni báyìí ń làwọn ọmọdé kàwó èjì báyìí làgbààgbà tayò ẹ̀ta bí ẹ̀ta kátara wa lọ́rẹ ni ẹ̀rín bí ẹ̀rín ẹni bá rí ni làárí o àrùn bí àrùn Èdùmàrè mọ̀ ṣe wá lárugún ẹ̀fà bí ẹ̀fà ẹni bá fani mọ́ra ó ṣe tán o ó ṣe kókó ó sì ṣe pàtàkì káwa náà fà á mọ́ra èje bí èje àtolúgbọ́n atárẹ̀sà atájèrò wọ́n jọ ṣòro wọ́n kìje ni o èèyàn tó bá ṣe bí èèyàn tó bá ṣe burúkú ẹni tó dalẹ̀ nìkan ni wọ́n pé kì í kìje o ẹjọ́ bí ẹjọ́ èmi mọ̀jọ́ bàbá tó bí mi lọ́mọ torí ọmọ tó bá ti jọ bàbá rẹ̀ ó ti ṣẹlẹ́rìí ìyá rẹ̀ o ẹ̀san bí ẹ̀san ọba jálẹ̀ ó san wá o gbogbo ìgbòkègbodò wa lóòrọ̀ lọ́sàn-án láàjì ní gbogbo ìgbà ní kùtù àì Elédùmarè kó jẹ́ kó já sí bèrè fún wa lọ́jọ́ alẹ́ ẹ̀wá bí ẹ̀wá àwárí báyìí lóbìnrin wà nǹkan bẹ o àwárí sì rèé ní adìyẹ máa ń wá kòkòrò ńlẹ̀ bá a ti ń lọ bá a ti ń bọ̀ tá à ń wáre ire láàmọ̀ rí o torí pé kò ló bá fẹnu sọlẹ̀ ire ló ń wá àtẹ̀mí àtẹ̀yìn àkàṣà ìríre láṣẹ Elédùmarè ìwúre náà ni wọ́n fi mọ́ ọ lọ sínú kókó ọ̀rọ̀ wa fún tòní kókó ọ̀rọ̀ wa tòní náà ni mo pè ní ẹ̀sìn ìbílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ rí i pé mo kọ́kọ́ fi ìwúre ṣáájú torí kò sí bá a ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn tá à ní sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbàgbọ́ kò dẹ̀ sí bá a ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbàgbọ́ tá à ní sọ̀rọ̀ ìwúre torí ní tá a bá gbàgbọ́ nínú rẹ̀ ńlá fi wúre ẹ̀sìn tá a bá ní gbàgbọ́ ńbẹ̀ ńlá ti mọ ṣàdúà tí í ṣe pé mo kọ́kọ́ fi ìwúre yẹn mo fi ṣáájú lórí ètò fún tòní a fẹ́ ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ẹ̀sìn ìbílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá kọ́kọ́ ṣe ìfárà kan fún wa tẹ́rí ṣáájú kí àwọn ẹ̀sìn yòókù ò tó dé bóyá àwọn kan ò mọ̀ kí n là á kó yé wa dáadáa pé àwọn ẹ̀sìn bí ẹ̀sìn ìsìláàmù ẹ̀sìn ọmọlẹ́yìn Jésù Kristi kì í ṣe ẹ̀sìn abínibí wa ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá o ṣùgbọ́n kí àwọn ẹ̀sìn wọ̀nyí ó tó dé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ti ní àwọn ìbọ wọ́n ti ní àwọn ọ̀nà kan tí wọ́n máa ń gbà láti pe Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá ò gbàgbọ́ pé èèyàn kan wà lókè o torí pé wọ́n gbàgbọ́ pé ẹnìkan wà lókè ọ̀run lọ́hùn tó dẹ̀ ju gbogbo ayé lọ kódà wọ́n máa ń sọ wọ́n gbàgbọ́ pé ojú méjèèjì bọ́lùgì pé kò lè rí ẹni tó wà lọ́run ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n nígbàgbọ́ yẹn nínú ọkàn wọn pé ó wà ń bẹ̀ pé àwọn ò dẹ̀ lè rí ṣùgbọ́n àwọn lè máa sìn látara àwọn ìbọ tàbí òrìṣà kan ẹ wá jẹ́ kí n dánu dúró mo fẹ́ ṣàlàyé tí ń jẹ́ ìbọ àti òrìṣà láàrin yẹn tá bá sọ pé ìbọ àbí òrìṣà kan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ìtumọ̀ tó ní ni pé àwọn ẹni tí òrìṣà dá ìyẹn ni pé ẹ̀dá alààyè ni wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ìdá tá a dá wọn ó yàtọ̀ sí ti akẹgbẹ́ wọn ó ní Yorùbá fi wá yà wọ́n sọ́tọ̀ pé àwọn ẹni òrìṣà dá ìrèé wọ́n ní àwọn àbùdá kan wọ́n ní àwọn àbímọ́ kan wọ́n lè rí ní tí gbogbo èèyàn ò rí wọ́n lè mọ ní tí gbogbo èèyàn ò bá mọ̀ bí àpẹẹrẹ ní ìsìn wọ́n máa ń sọ pé Ọ̀rúnmìlà pé Ifá akọ́nilọ́rọ̀ bí ìyẹ̀kan ẹni atóní aláìsùn ọ̀ṣẹ́ ìyẹn ni pé wọ́n rí pé ó lè ṣe nǹkan tí ẹ̀dá alààyè tó kù ò lè ṣe ni wọ́n fi sọ di òrìṣà ṣé wá rí tí ń jẹ́ ìbọ ni pé ohun tí wọ́n ń bu ọ̀wọ̀ fún ẹni tí wọ́n ń bu ọlá fún ẹni tí wọ́n ń péjọ láti kan sára sí ìtumọ̀ ìbọ àbí òrìṣà nìyẹn kì í ṣe pé àwọn òrìṣà yẹn gangan ni Yorùbá gbàgbọ́ o ibi tí mo fẹ́ káàrin yẹn ó ti yé wa nìyẹn torí ẹlòmíà ní àwọn Yorùbá wọ́n ń gbàgbọ́ nínú òrìṣà rárá o kì í ṣe àwọn ẹni òrìṣà yẹn gangan ni wọ́n gbàgbọ́ tàbí pò gangan ni wọ́n gbé lékè Olódùmarè bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ àwọn ẹni òrìṣà dá yẹn tí wọ́n gbà pé wọ́n láwọn àbùdá tó yàtọ̀ sí tàwọn òun ni àwọn Yorùbá máa ń lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí alàgàtà gẹ́gẹ́ bí alárinà láàrin àwọn àti Olódùmarè tẹ wá rí àwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyí òun ni ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa wá ń pè ní òrìṣà torí wọ́n gbàgbọ́ pé Olódùmarè tó wà lókè yẹn o èèyàn lásán ò lè rójú ẹ̀ èèyàn lásán ò lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ kó gbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn kan wà tí wọ́n lè bá a sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ni wọ́n ń pè ní ẹni tí òrìṣà dá àwa ṣe ìsúnkì sí gbólóhùn yẹn pé òrìṣà irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ìní Ifá tàbí kẹ́ pè ní Ọ̀rúnmìlà nǹkan kan náà la ṣe ń sọ tẹ́ bá sọ pé Ifá òun náà ní jọ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ẹ rí i pé níbi tí wọ́n bá gbé ṣe wọ́n á ní àmì àti àpẹẹrẹ tó sàmì rẹ̀ pé Ifá lélẹ̀ tí ó jẹ́ àwòrán rẹ̀ pé Ifá rèé ìdè rẹ̀ á wà ń bẹ̀ ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ń lò láti fi mọ nǹkan tẹ́rí pé ojú tó pẹlẹbẹ yẹn ìyẹn ló fi hàn pé ó lè jẹ́ ìyẹ̀rosùn ló fẹ́ fi máa dá Ifá tiẹ̀ ó lè fi máa rí pé tẹ́ bá dọ́dọ̀ babaláwo míì ó lè lo ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ ó lè lo ikin ó lè lo ìyẹ̀rosùn látẹ̀ sí ojú ọpọ́n irú àwọn èèyàn míì tó jẹ́ ẹni oríṣàdá ni Ògún tẹ́rí Ògún yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìtàn ìwáṣẹ̀ wọ́n ní òun gangan ló lànà dé fún wọn délé ayé nígbà tí àwọn irúnmọlẹ̀ mọ́kànlénírinwó ìyẹn àwọn ẹni òrìṣà mọ́kànlénírinwó tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ wá láti òde ọ̀run wọ́n ní Ògún ló ní àdá lọ́wọ́ tó fi àdá yẹn tó fi la ọ̀nà fún wọn ká tó máa tẹ̀ wájú ẹ jẹ́ á lọ kábọ̀ wá.